My name is Harrison Blair, and I am the president of the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce, the oldest black chamber of commerce in the nation. And I'd like to welcome you to our annual meeting. We have a great annual meeting planned for you, and this year's theme is Moving into Tomorrow Stronger.
Y'all feel it? Oh.
My name is Darren James. I'm the chairman of the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce. I'm excited to be here tonight. I'm also the president of KAI Enterprises, the design and construction services. 2020 has been, I don't want to say challenging, it's been a year of opportunities. Obviously, we all know about the pandemic, which then affected the economic cycle. It also created an economic crisis, and as you saw in some of our collateral, an economic disaster, specifically for black businesses. So the chamber pivoted very early, sat down with our executive leadership team, Harrison Blair, who's president, Jay Tenner, who's our VP, and came up with a strategy to make sure that we could serve our members as well as the community at large. One of the things we really did initially was to suspend all payments for their membership dues, because we recognized that there was no revenue coming into their businesses, so there was no way that they could take that discretionary income and spend with the chamber. But we wanted to make sure that we were still a resource throughout this year. So that obviously put a nonprofit in a very tenuous position. But the thing we did was we thought that was the best thing to do to make sure that the black businesses in this community were going to survive. And we did. Stability and the staff leadership, recognition. As the oldest black chamber in the country, we obviously have had a long-standing tradition of doing things that had a meaningful impact in not only the city of Dallas, but there are other chambers across the country that look to us for leadership as well as foundational goals. One of the things that I'm most excited about is, maybe because this is the most recent thing, but we were able to create an app through one of our members to come up with a way to help the community at large access capital through the PPP loans. That was not a foregone conclusion. Everybody talks about access to capital. It's not so much access to capital as the primary hindrance is relationships with your financial institutions. And so one of the things we were able to do was with the My Cares app was to pivot and make sure that we got a bunch of businesses over $5 million. It was over 200 businesses, and they weren't all members of the chamber. They just happened to know that we had a resource, and so that's one of the things that I'm really excited about, and it came from conversation with our executive leadership. So having stability in that leadership role, making sure that they were looking out for things that were happening in the community, making sure that we were doing things that were topical and timely. So the Dallas Black Chamber is first and foremost a business organization. We are about growing businesses. How do we support executives in whatever stage of life they are in their current positions, as well as supporting entrepreneurial endeavors as they emerge or they're at various stages of their life cycle. So one of the things we've created this year is an executive leadership or executive business program that's going to help entrepreneurs do the things that make them competitive in today's economic climate, as well as tomorrow's economic climate. Because what we've learned in 2020 is that you have to be flexible, you have to be agile, and that you have to keep your head on the swivel.
Chamber is in a great place right now. We started the pandemic very unsure of what programs we had to offer and how they would impact our members, given that so much was changing under our feet and shifting. But we were able to pivot in the pandemic and start to provide some services that we believe will actually help businesses grow. We were really pressed by some of the numbers that we were seeing coming from our members. Some 41% of black businesses across the nation and here in the North Texas region were slated to close, and the executive team had to get together and figure out some strategies that would help these businesses stay viable at this very critical time. One of the most critical events of 2020 for us was a member from Swiss coming to us with an app called My CARES Act app, which allowed us to help over 300 businesses get $5 million worth of PPP loans from emergency funding made available through Congress. The result of the partnership between Swiss and the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce was an app called the My CARES Act tool, which allowed us to help businesses quickly get access to emergency funds made available through Congress. In fact, it was so quick it took the entire process from about 3 hours to 30 minutes. And the app actually connected to our members' bank accounts. So as soon as they got their information uploaded and the system actually parsed the information from their answers, it was quickly able to guesstimate what the amount would be that they would receive. It also gave them some good facts and information about the process that would come after receiving the funding. So how do you actually get this loan forgiven by the U.S. government? So those were some very critical programs, and we worked with partners like First United Bank, who helped us also get around $1 million for some of our members who would tune into some of our webinars earlier on. We really focused on helping businesses through our mission, which is, to advocate for the creation, the growth, and to promote the general welfare of black-owned businesses throughout the region. And we did that with seminars, technical training, skills, and resources that we helped our members with prior to the pandemic. COVID-19 gave us an opportunity to see what a virtual chamber looked like. We already had the infrastructure, we already had some existing staff, and we already took a lot of meetings and a lot of calls via Zoom and using different internet apparatuses. But the pandemic pushed us to be much more ingenuitive and figure out more ways to really focus in on how we could virtually meet folks and how we could virtually deliver services. And I think, the pandemic helped us to deliver some of our best services in times of need when black businesses were really on the fringe. So Toyota approached us about having an activation event called the Toyota Entourage, where we engage influencers and we engage entrepreneurs and we have a dinner. We counter-offered and said we want to partner on a tour that would be a part of this entire partnership, and Toyota agreed. And so not only do we have influencers actually have dinner and sit down and talk about black businesses and activate buying black, but we also had a tour across the city where we talked about some of the infrastructure for black businesses as the first black chamber of commerce in the nation's history. Vistra Energy, or more specifically, Brad Watson, who represents Vistra Energy, reached out to us and told me that he was really moved by a program that we were creating called the Business Leadership Program for executives who are really focused on growing their business, but they just need a little bit more skill, more resource, more know-how. He really liked the idea, and Vistra really liked the idea that we were investing in actual people and entrepreneurs who wish to grow. And they became foundational sponsors of that program and have agreed to do so for the next few years to give us some runway to really get this foundational program off the ground. And then includes partners like Bank of America, who helped us develop the curriculum, and UNT Dallas, who's actually going to help us move the curriculum forward through their program. So we're very excited about that. So the Business Leadership School is going to be 50 core curriculum hours that will really focus in on a cohort of about 50 students who will have the opportunity to work with one another and to work with professionals through our preferred curriculum that we're creating now. That program will start taking applications this January, and we'll have our very first cohort in July, and that cohort will graduate in December. The program will happen every other Tuesday from 9:30 to 11. The Guaranteed Pool Fund came from our Economic Development Committee. We were really interested in how we could help make black businesses and black citizens across the North Texas region more creditworthy. And if you've seen the recent reports from WFAA on banking below 30, you know just how important that is. And the Guaranteed Pool Fund really focuses on raising unfunded guarantees that will be through foundations, corporations, municipalities, and intermediaries like the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce that will guarantee black businesses who are walking into banks who would typically not be able to get a line of credit or get the requested amount for a loan to grow their business. The Executive Business Summit really focused on black tech entrepreneurs and black tech startups. We really had no idea how many black tech startups were in the city of Dallas, but we found out quickly when we brought Arlen Hamilton, who is a funder of black tech startups and underrepresented founders of companies. When Arlen Hamilton came to Dallas, we only had standing room at the Executive Business Summit. She talked about her amazing story, how much she taught herself in venture capital. And we had a great time learning from other black tech executives and entrepreneurs who are from startups, just how much the need is, how great the need is for funding, how great the need is for resources here in the North Texas region. And people like Arlen Hamilton are helping the chamber really focus in on how we can do that.
You make me feel so high.
So a foundational event for the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce is the Quest for Success, which was started by Thomas L. Houston, who is one of our greatest presidents here at the Dallas Black Chamber. And the Quest for Success is a platform that was solely built to acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate black businesses who are not only making a great revenue and making great profits here in the region, but are also helping our community grow. And this platform has been around now for the last 36 years. And this year was challenging. We had to figure out how we were going to host this big event that has been so important to the threads of the chamber. And we decided to take it virtual. And our keynote address this year was brought to us by the Dallas Mavericks CEO, Cynthia Marshall, and it is one you don't want to miss. It is also on demand, so you can check it out at our website at dbcc.org.
You make me feel so high.
My name is Jade Tenner. I am the Vice President of Community Investment for the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce. In my role, I develop and implement strategic plans to ensure that communications, programming, and corporate relations are effective and support the mission of the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce. Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, one of the main focuses of the Dallas Black Chamber was how we could help our members and communities across North Texas by leveraging technology, resources, and technical assistance to get access to funding needed to protect their businesses. It was projected that 41% of Black-owned businesses would close their doors for good due to the current economic crisis. Through fast action and dedicated focus, the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce was able to pivot quickly to assist our member businesses and community. We did so by taking our office virtual, introducing the Black and Business webinar, partnering with Swiss to assist with PPP applications, providing one-on-one business coaching, and uploading a resource page to our website. The Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce partnered with Comerica Bank and contributing sponsor AT&T to host the Black Business Bootcamp. This was a 5-week series that provided technical assistance for small businesses and entrepreneurs. Participants of the program had access to DBCC business advisors, industry experts, as well as Comerica Bank representatives who provided financial information to all participants. The Power Breakfast was created to foster new relationships between local businesses and large corporations and to engage current and potential chamber members through exposure to opportunity-driven information. New member orientation is a complimentary monthly luncheon event held at the chamber. At the orientation, members and non-members learn how to maximize their chamber investment. These sessions provide guidance in understanding the products, services, and networking opportunities and money-saving programs available through the Dallas Black Chamber.
My name is Sade Whitmore, and I am the Director of Operations for the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce. As the Director of Operations, I oversee the day-to-day and member communications. However, you all will know me as the member liaison. One of the main reasons I love working for the Chamber is being able to help Black businesses and entrepreneurs achieve their goals and providing a network of support.
Good morning, Dr. Booker Drew. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Good to see you, Harrison.
Good to see you, Dr. Booker Drew. I'm so excited today because at this annual program, we are awarding you the Connie Davis Volunteer of the Year Award through the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce. So we are very excited, Dr. Booker Drew.
Thank you. I am so honored and just am grateful that of all the people you could have picked, you chose me. So thank you.
Dr. Booker Drew, thank you. And thank you for all the work you've done on behalf of our community. And just to give you a bit of a history about Ms. Connie Davis, she was a member of the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce and a leader for more than a decade. And she also owned her apparel shop on MLK for over 50 years. She volunteered tirelessly. She gave time, resources, and really organized a lot of groups that would help Black leaders and Black businesses in the city of Dallas. And we couldn't think of anybody who has worked so tirelessly and so hard to organize groups of African Americans who can really invest capital, like you do with the Women's Giving Circle, or just to bring Black men together in a powerful way like you did earlier this year before the pandemic hit. And you've been doing this work for decades here in Dallas, and you've been building a city that I'm from. So we just wanted to say thank you on behalf of our organization and the 94 years of service that we have invested in community. When we see others doing that kind of work, it's the reason we get out of bed. So Dr. Booker Drew, thank you for the investments you have made to Black society here in Dallas and what people are copying from you across the nation. So we want to honor you with this Connie Davis Volunteer of the Year Award. And we thank you so very much for all the work you do through the Chamber and through community.
Harrison, I am just floored, and I'm never speechless, but I just want to say, wow, thank you, for honoring me with a woman who did so much and really made such an impact in South Dallas. I hope that through my work with the State Fair of Texas, with Heritage Giving Circle, and all the many other things that I've been blessed to be a part of, that I can make a little bit of the impact that she was able to achieve. I'm honored that you all would recognize the work that I'm doing. I am just blessed to be able to be around you and so many other young leaders in this city, and you all pour into me, and so I am just a reflection of who you all are. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Look, Dr. Booker Drew, I'm not crying, you're crying. But we appreciate you, and we can't wait until we can be in person again, and we can just thank you for all you do. And we do have a small token of our appreciation that is on its way. So just FYI there, thank you so much for all you do, Dr. Booker Drew.
Thank you. I want to thank the Chamber and just thank everybody for this opportunity. I'm trying not to cry either. For such an amazing opportunity. I'm just grateful. And so once again, Harrison, and to your board and all your members, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Booker Drew. You have a blessed rest of the day, and we can't wait till we can see you in the new year. I have the pleasure today of awarding the very first A. Maceo Smith Emerging Leader Award to a leader here in Dallas who has been very emblematic of the namesake of this award. A. Maceo Smith came to the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce in 1932 as a 29-year-old, and I don't think the leaders of the chamber nor A. Maceo knew just how much infrastructure and ecosystem that he would build for the future of African Americans from the city of Dallas. But today, we want to honor a young leader who is walking in those footsteps, who is a trailblazer and who is creating opportunity for other young leaders and people across the city of Dallas in this very hot economic region prior to the pandemic. And that person is none other than Michelle Williams. Michelle, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you so much for all the work you have done on behalf of the community in Dallas and leaders who are looking up to you across the city. Thank you so much. And please accept this A. Maceo Smith Emerging Leader Award from us here at the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce.
Harrison, thank you so much. I am beyond honored to accept this award. Thank you so much for thinking of me and the work that I've been blessed to be able to do in the city here. And thank you for the namesake. Maceo Smith was an amazing man. Definitely thank you to the Dallas Black Chamber for the advocacy, the faith, and the commitment that you have for Black business owners across the city.
And Michelle, we're just so very excited. We're looking forward to all of what you're going to do in 2021 and beyond. Thank you so much. And please don't forget about us little folks. Thank you again. And Michelle, we look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, Harrison. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Sorrell, we wanted to welcome you to this program, our annual awards dinner, and just wanted to, let you know that you have been selected as our Thomas L. Houston Community Service Award recipient this year in 2020. So thank you so much. And Priz, you got to know it's hard to be selected as a recipient for anything in 2020 because it's such a crazy year. People have really laid it on the line as leaders to help save so many different sectors of our community. But the Thomas L. Houston Community Service Award typically goes to a business, civic, or education leader who has really invested in our community and made changes on a local, national, and international level. And I think, Priz, with all the credentials and awards you've already received, we couldn't have gotten a better candidate. In your 13-year tenure at Paul Quinn, you've already turned around so much. You've done away with old systems and you've changed just everybody's idea of what an HBCU can do. So it is truly our honor and our pleasure to award you the Thomas L. Houston Community Service Award from our organization, from our board, our chairman, and our staff. Thank you so much, Prez.
Oh, well, Brother Blair, listen. One, thank you. I am deeply humbled to receive the award. The work we do at Paul Quinn, we do because that's what our hearts tell us to do. We are driven by a belief that our community deserves the very best that we can provide it, that there is a sacred bond of trust between our institutions and our people, and that you don't ever betray that trust. And so we show up every day and try and be better than we were the day before. And we know that it is a non-stop fight, but it is an honorable fight. It is a fight that we are just proud to be able to wage. And so to be recognized, by our people is a gift. And so I just, on behalf of my entire school, my students, our alums, our board trustees, but most importantly, on behalf of my family, who I do this work for, I am trying as much as I can to make sure that my children and my wife are never have to apologize for having me be the man in their lives. So, this gives me the ability to say, well, I might be doing all right in that area. So thank you so much.
Chris, thank you for the investments you have made on behalf of all of our communities and Black society across the United States, and specifically here in the North Texas region. We can't thank you enough, and we look forward to all the changes and all the things you're going to do at Paul Quinn 2021 and ahead. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, man. Listen, we're just warming up, so we got more tricks up the sleeve.
and Prez, you'll be getting a small token of appreciation from us here at the Chamber. So please be looking out for that. And look, just to make sure I'm not over my 5 minute mark, I know you're working on transformative projects in the community, so we won't tear you on the line. But Prez, thank you. You just don't know what it means. Look, I'm not crying, you crying, but we really appreciate you, Prez.